Hey guys, it's Pastor Bruce. When we remodeled the church worship center, we replaced the pews with chairs, and I thought this might end the, hey, that's my seat syndrome that is so prevalent in churches. But I'm convinced that some people have developed CPS, church positioning systems, and they inherently know the exact coordinates of their seat. And so even if we move the chairs around every week, they're going to gravitate to the chair that is closest to that point. Now we shake our heads and laugh about that. It really, in the whole scheme of things, that's not that big a deal. Certainly not compared to many of the problems that Paul was experiencing with the church in Corinth. Today we begin the book of 1 Corinthians, which was written by Paul from Ephesus during his third missionary journey. Corinth was the most important city in Greece at this time. It was wealthy, it was powerful, and it was pagan. Paul had started the church on his second missionary journey, and by the time we get to the writing of this book some years later, they were having some big problems with sin and with divisiveness. There were factions that had developed, those who said they followed Paul, others Apollos. Some liked Peter. Others said, we don't like any of you guys, we're going to follow Jesus. But even they were a faction. And Paul begins this letter after giving them greetings by explaining to them that it's not about who you like, it's about the gospel of Jesus Christ. That applies to us today as well. It's not about whom we may prefer as a teacher or a preacher. If they are preaching or teaching the Word of God, they are worth listening to. Corinth was about 2-to-1 slave to free, and so a large part of the church membership were poor or slave. And yet there were those who were landowners and wealthy, and this added to the divisiveness of the church. But Paul explains in the latter part of this first chapter that God chose these who were on the bottom rungs of society to show His power through them. And that's the lesson for you and me today. It's not going to be the celebrities or the power brokers or the great athletes, though a few of them are going to come to faith in Jesus Christ. Instead, God is going to use ordinary people like you and me, working together, very important, for the cause of Christ in order to accomplish extraordinary tasks for His glory. God bless you as you go.